last shot. For me.
How's everybody doing today? Here I am high up in the Hollywood Hills, and I was a gentleman I just met named Luis. Very nice man. We're talking about the area, the neighborhood. It's beautiful up in the Hollywood Hills. It's a cloudy, overcast day, gloomy for Los Angeles. But somewhat appropriate for the video I'm making. It's about Brittany Murphy, an actress who I absolutely loved, and I think you did too if you're watching this video probably. She was radiant. What a smile. That smile of hers, just incredible. She sadly passed away in 2009 in the house right up here, this Rising Glen, up in the Hollywood Hills. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about how she passed away. Very sad. She passed away in this house, just up the hill behind me here, and it's been completely gutted, renovated, almost to the bare bones. Only one wall left. I was just talking to Luis about it because I thought, first I thought the house was completely demolished. Then I read that it was just renovated. Then I found out more, and then talking to Luis, it's basically down to one wall and then rebuilt. And this house has some crazy history with Brittany Murphy. Britney Spears used to live in it. She said that she had some experiences, paranormal experiences in this house, but Brittany Murphy and her husband both passed away here. And yeah, I mean, I want to give a shout out before I forget to the great Lundini. If you're not following him on Instagram, this has nothing to do with Brittany Murphy, but somewhat. He's an Instagrammer and is on TikTok, and he does anti-bullying campaign online, which I really respect for what he does. And he's really, he just goes after bullies and online, and you just got to go to his Instagram, the great Lundini. And I talked to him a couple times, and really, really great guy. And what he's doing is amazing, helping with teen suicide and things like that, and just trying to really get rid of all bullying. And that's a tough task, but shout out to the great Lundini. And I'll put the link below to his Instagram. Brittany Murphy, Uptown Girls, great movie. Riding Cars with Boys. 8 Mile, one of my favorites. Girl Interrupted, Don't Say a Word. And one of my personal favorites, Just Married, which she was, if you haven't seen Just Married, it's a goofy romantic comedy with Ashton Kutcher, who she dated, and it's just great. I love it. And of course, Clueless. Clueless is how we all were introduced to Brittany Murphy. And she playing Ty. She's amazing. Of course, I have a special love for her because she's in 8 Mile with Eminem, which is one of my favorite movies. He's my favorite artist. And the story of her, of how she passed away, is so sad and so wrong. She was so young. But it's right up here, and we're going to go take a look at the house. I'm going to tell you how she passed away, what happened to her right here in this house. So let's take a walk up Rising Glen here in the Hollywood Hills. Let's go. So there's a party going on into the house to the left of me right here. Look at these houses here. Wow. But she collapsed here in her home on December 20th, 2009, was declared dead at Cedar Sinai. I think it was 10:04 a.m. on that morning. And that first was the causes appeared to be natural. But something seemed off, and then a coroner's report was issued, and it was citing anemia and prescription drugs played a role in her death that was ultimately caused by community-acquired pneumonia. There's a little bit of the house right there. But there's really more to the story, and it's really weird. In November of 2009, she traveled to Puerto Rico. She was going to film a movie called The Caller, and her husband and her mother was with her, but she was fired the first day. And I've heard conflicting reports. Was she fired, or did she leave because it was a horror film and she didn't want to do a horror film? So again, conflicting reports sort of on what it was. But her husband and her mother both caught Staphylococcus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Staphylococcus. And on the flight back to Los Angeles, Brittany said that her husband had a heart attack, and she gave him CPR. But that was on the flight back. But eventually, Brittany also caught Staphylococcus, and it hit her pretty hard. By mid-December, she had a bout of laryngitis, and she had her second period in that month, which caused anemia. And for 6 weeks, she thought she could overcome it and didn't seek medical attention. But finally, on the Friday, she called for an appointment on Monday. But she didn't make it to that appointment. And there's the house right there. I'm going to get you a different look in a second. See what I can show you. This is a very steep hill. And there's construction right around the corner. But apparently she hated this house. She did not like it, and she only liked the bathroom, which was where she spent hours reading, doing makeup, and just that was her safe space, was the bathroom, from what I know. And apparently what she really wanted was to go back to New York City and start over. And she wanted her husband to get some screenwriting work. He was a screenwriter. She wanted to start getting back into independent films, because she grew up in Edison, New Jersey, I believe. But it was a Saturday night, and the electric power kept going out, and the backup generator failed, and there was a 45-minute blackout that night up here in the hills, and they used flashlights when it went dark, and they were but they were afraid to light candles near the oxygen machine, and Simon, her husband, relied on that to ease the sleep apnea and asthma. But on her final night, and here's the driveway right here as I turn around, you see these houses being built right here, all over. And there's the driveway right there. On her final night, Brittany was gasping for her breath, and her lips were turning blue from a lack of oxygen because her lungs were filling with fluid. So she took Biaxin, migraine pills, cough medicine, a nasal spray, and then she also had antidepressant drugs like Prozac, anti-seizure drug, what's it called? Klonopin, and anti-inflammatory, and a beta blocker, and Vicoprofen. I had these written down here on my hand, because I'm not laughing because I couldn't remember all of them. And she fell in the bathroom and told her mother, "I'm dying. I'm going to die, Mommy. I love you." And then her mom called 911 from this house right here. But it was too late. So there's the house there. You can see it's been completely remodeled, but it's a very beautiful house. But it's just some strange things about this house here. It's that one straight ahead. And there's her driveway. Right there. Simon was convinced that she died of a broken heart because the shoddy way she had been treated by Hollywood, and because she'd been dropped from the movie Happy Feet 2, and had apparently been depressed about a few things. So he wanted that as the official reason why, but this was before the autopsy report came out. But during the time, people were trying to figure out why Brittany Murphy died. Simon passed away on May 23rd, 2010, in the same bedroom, which is connected to that bathroom, same place as Brittany, and from acute pneumonia and anemia. So this caused quite a bit of confusion and suspicion. And so Sharon, Brittany's mother, felt kind of vindicated because she, saying there was no drug overdose if they both died, in the same house, in the same sort of way. But questions continue still to come up to this day about it, about toxic mold in the house. And, the house was, like I said, completely gutted and torn down. So questions continue to come up over the years. And in November 2013, Brittany Murphy's dad, Angelo Bertolotti, he thought there was a murder situation. He thought they were poisoned. Now, he ordered additional toxicology reports and claimed that his daughter's hair showed that there were 10 heavy metals in her system, but those could have been from hair dye. And she did dye her hair a lot. And I've read that too. But of course, Brittany's father wasn't in her life as much as the mother. She was extremely close with her mother. And she said she dismissed all of the father's accusations about the poison and murder, and said based on the no evidence and more of an insult than an insight, and how she said that a hair sample would have been unreliable. And she wrote a letter about Brittany Murphy, and we're going to go to the cemetery now where Brittany and her husband are buried, and I'm going to read a bit of that letter and then take you to her final resting spot. But there's the house there. I wish I could show you more. I'll put in a couple of aerial views and maybe find some pictures of what it used to look like. And here we've got something going on, which is my cue to make it to the cemetery to pay my respects and yours to Brittany Murphy. And again, we might get a better look at the house right from here. Here it is, just above the hill, above the trees. Now, as I stated earlier, Brittany's mother, Sharon, heavily denied that it's anything to do with poison or murder. And in a letter to the Hollywood Reporter, she wrote, "She was my baby and we stood together throughout Brittany's life. Now I must stand up for her again. It is time for those who really knew and loved her to put those who want to exploit her on notice. Your lies will no longer be tolerated, and as long as I live, will continue to be exposed." And as I stated near the beginning of the video as well, the primary cause of Brittany's death was pneumonia, with secondary factors of iron deficiency anemia and multiple drug intoxication. All of the drugs were legal, and the death was ruled to be an accident. But the coroner's report, observed that the possible adverse physiological effects of elevated levels of these medications cannot be discounted, especially in her weakened state. Well, as you can see, it's beautiful surroundings in the Hollywood Hills here. Gloomy day, but I've been here plenty of times, filmed plenty of videos here, and yep, I've been to Brittany's grave a few times, but it's good to come out. And I've left a rock as usual, and I left one for her husband Simon, and it's no disrespect by leaving a smaller rock, but this video is mostly about Brittany. So, and I was a fan and you're a fan, so I just brought a big rock for Brittany. And but yes, like I said, no disrespect to her husband Simon, who I hope is resting peacefully as well. Brittany's headstone reads, Brittany Murphy Monjack, November 10th, 1977 to December 20th, 2009. Our precious daughter, wife and angel to all. And Simon's reads, Simon Mark Monjack, March 9th, 1970 to May 23rd, 2010. Beloved son, husband, father, Renaissance man, and all that jazz. And she has an angel and he has a crest right there. And if you're looking for Brittany, just look for that church. Come up and make a right on Ascension Drive, I believe it is, just past the main, I forget what that area is called, right there. And make a right on Ascension Drive and just stop about halfway and walk up the hill. And here's Brittany Murphy and her husband Simon. It looks like the lawn was just mowed freshly, probably today. And usually when I come out, there's lots of things left here for Brittany and her husband. As you can see, there's fresh flowers. Probably all these were put today, I would imagine, recently. But usually there's stuff here, not a lot, or nothing right now. But there will be, and if you live in the Hollywood area, you want to come take a look and maybe leave some flowers or something, come do it. And that's my video about Brittany Murphy and her husband Simon. Tragic. And yeah, I hope they both rest peacefully, and thanks for watching. Peace out.